Hello friends, I'm Mark Holmes, aka Cowboy Joe Boo, and thank you for joining me for another edition of Spread the Mojo. Last week was kind of bittersweet in Philadelphia. It's always great beating them, but losing Tony Romo definitely hurts. The task doesn't get easy this week and nobody's betting on us, so we're going to do some southern cooking today. Now we've got some fried catfish, some string beans, and some freezer slaw. So let's get started. Now we're going to get started with our coleslaw first, because believe it or not, that's going to take more time than anything else. So we're going to go ahead and get our wash ready for it. So we need to take 2 cups of water and some salt, 2 tablespoons, and we're going to get that to boil. And while that's getting ready to go, we're also going to go ahead and get our topping ready. So we're going to take a cup of water, some apple cider vinegar, 1.5 cups of sugar, and some celery seed. And we're going to stir that all together, and we're going to get that to a boil. Okay friends, so while we're waiting for our salt water to warm up, we're going to go ahead and take our carrots, our onions, our cabbage, our green pepper, and we're going to chop that up real nice and fine. Now, a quick way you can save yourself some time, they have the pre-sliced up coleslaw vegetables that you can get at your grocery store. So that'll save you a little time if you're kind of pressed. Okay, so our salt water is boiling, and we've already gotten this to slightly boil, and we've turned it down. So we're going to take this out, and we're going to actually put this in the refrigerator to cool down. And we're going to take the hot water, and we're going to pour it over the vegetables. Here we go. With the hot salt water. What the salt water will do to this is it'll help draw out all the moisture, so that way it'll be nice and keep from getting soggy. It'll still stay nice and crisp. So we want to take this and just kind of mix it in there with the salt water, and we want to set this aside for about an hour to let it dry out. And as you can see, the beautiful colors in that arrangement there. Oh, that's going to be so nice. Now the great thing about this is you can make a big batch of it, and you can put it in the freezer and bring it out when you need to. And down the road, when we take on the Redskins, when I do those pork sliders, this is absolutely heaven on top of it. So while we have our coleslaw over here with the salt water drawing out the moisture into it, we're going to get started on our string beans. Now I'm blessed to have a mother like none other. She grows everything at home and cans it herself. So we're going to use some of her string beans. Now don't fret, if you don't have a mother like none other, you can go to the store and get yourself some frozen string beans and just thaw them out in water, or even some canned ones. Now, every recipe is always better with bacon. So we're going to take some bacon, and we're going to go ahead and brown that slightly. Now leave it a little bit soft in the pan for our string beans. Okay, that bacon's done there, so we want to drain this extra oil off. And we're going to put our chicken broth in there. And add our string beans. Okay, we've got our string beans simmering. We've got our coleslaw over here with the salt water, and that's cooling. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to do our catfish, the star of the party. Now we're going to take the catfish, and we're going to actually pour some buttermilk over it. And we're going to let that sit for just a couple of minutes in the refrigerator to go ahead and get that. Now we'll go ahead and get started with getting our flour. We've got a couple of cups of flour, a cup of cornmeal, some smoked paprika, and any of you who follow me know how I like my stuff spicy. So we're going to put a little bit of cayenne pepper, some slap your mama spice, because we definitely want to slap the Falcons this weekend. And a little bit of Old Bay. And that'll give it kind of a multi-range of flavors in there with a little bit of heat. Then we're just going to take a whisk and just mix that all together. Okay, it's been about an hour, and it's wilted down our vegetables. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a colander, and we're going to go ahead and strain that out so we get all that salt water out of the slaw. Okay, our coleslaw here is all drained out. Now all that's left to do on that is to go ahead and take our topping mix and just pour that on top of it. And then we're going to stir that up and put it in the fridge. And that's all there is to it. Now the great thing about this is if you make a big portion, like I said, you can put it in a bag and put it in the freezer and save it for next time. So we're going to stir that up. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. Why didn't I do pork sliders today? That's what I'm really in the taste for. But we'll save that for the Redskins. Definitely have to have plenty of hog for them. Okay, now that our freezer slaw is in the refrigerator cooling down, we're going to go ahead and take our catfish and we're going to get ready to make that. So we're going to go ahead and turn our stove up and get the temperature up to about 350 degrees to deep fry. And we're going to take our flour mixture and our catfish that have been soaking in the buttermilk, and we're going to go ahead and dredge them in there both sides. And we want to let that rest for about 5 minutes so that way it doesn't all fall off into the pan and burn. Okay, our oil is good and hot, so we're going to go ahead and put our catfish in. Ooh, one piece at a time. And we're just going to leave it right there and let it cook. You don't want to keep moving it too much. You want to wait till the edges are golden brown on there, and then you're going to flip it over one time. Oh, this is going to be delicious, friends. All that's left to do is get a plate, and let's plate this thing. Ooh, boy, look at that catfish. Wow. And some of that coleslaw. Oh my goodness. And of course, all we need is some hot sauce. Now that's what I'm talking about eating. Now hopefully our Dallas Cowboys will take care of business against Atlanta, because I love being in the South. Next week, we've got New Orleans, one of my favorite places to go. Not because of the weather, but because of the food. Now remember, click subscribe so that way you can get more of my great recipes. And check some of them out, especially Joe Boo's Lucky Ones, because we definitely need all the mojo we can get. Now remember, keep spreading the mojo.